Chinese artist Ai Weiwei got a nasty surprise while checking his Gmail account last November. He discovered that all of his messages had been transferred to an unknown address. The designer of Beijing's Olympic Stadium has become a target for authorities in China due to his work campaigning for the victims of the 2008 earthquake in Sichuan, and he appreciates Google's efforts to publicize the attacks on their systems.
Of course, the hacking of my account will affect my activities. But what is important is that Google reminded we net users of our rights, told us that we should protect them and defend the freedom that we have on the internet and our right to privacy.
Since the attacks on Google, Chinese bloggers are starting to fight back. Bloggers like Zhou Shuguang, known as Zola to China's online community, who is now training NGOs and netizens alike how to surf the internet safely.
As I never use the same passwords for my Gmail account and my social network accounts, the government will have found it harder to spy on me. I also make sure I only use safe computers when I open my email. And above all, I change my password once every 2 or 3 months.
Google's stance against the Chinese government and its policies on internet censorship is being seen as a marketing coup, with the search engine giant being held up as the paladin of a free internet, contrary to some rivals accused of disclosing information about dissidents to authorities. Dan Brody, Google's first ever employee in China and now CEO of another internet group, is among those singing the praises of his former employer.
Google was always haunted by the specter of Yahoo handing over the information about the journalist, and so Google would never hand over information to the Chinese government or, in fact, other governments. Quite often, the U.S. government asked for information from Google, especially during the Bush administration, and Google would refuse and take it to court in order to not provide that information to the government, because Google wants and needs to have the trust of users.
The Chinese government insists that it had nothing to do with the cyber attacks on Google, and that the current furore over internet freedom is being used as a pretext for some good old-fashioned China bashing.
Right now, there is no formal proof that the government is involved in the cyber attacks against Google. And I don't think the government needs to launch this kind of attack. This statement from Google is pure speculation.
While Google's defense of internet freedoms has won it many fans among China's netizens, nobody has any illusions it will do anything to convince Beijing to change its policies on internet censorship.